The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and sponsored by international award-winning author Mia Mosinzia of Missing. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 40 podcast platforms, as well as hamiltonradio.net, Diamonds FM, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We can be heard in over 100 countries, featuring over 1,000 well-known and amazing guests throughout the globe. And named one of the top 100 global podcasts in the New York Weekly Times, Hollywood Entertainment News, Los Angeles Weekly Times, Apple, and Chartable. So sit back and relax and enjoy another great episode of the award-winning Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with a terrific lady who's from New York City, owner and director of Astepahead Tutoring Services, bringing a worth of academic excellence and a proven record of tutoring in the educational field. She received her master's in clinical mental health counseling from St. John's University in 2015, worked for 2 companies tutoring students at no cost, and saw academic struggles in working class families disproportionate, including the African-American communities, Hispanic, South Asia, and 26 hours is considered not enough. And how'd you find Astepahead Tutoring Services? We'll find out just 1 minute. Live, ladies and gentlemen, at Plus Studios in beautiful downtown New York City, the owner and director of Astepahead Tutoring Services, bringing a wealth of academic excellence to and a proven record in the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Gabrielle Crichlow. Gabrielle, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Gabrielle. So you're owner-director of Astepahead Tutoring Services, bringing a wealth of academic excellence and a proven track record of tutoring in the educational field. You received your master's in clinical mental health counseling from St. John's University in 2015. You worked for 2 companies tutoring students at no cost. You saw academic struggles of working-class families disproportionate in the African-American communities, Hispanic and South Asian, and 26 hours required is considered not enough. And before we talk about Astepahead Tutoring Services and how you got started, Gabrielle, tell us how you first got started.
Yes, so I started off as an after-school tutor in a foster care program. I got a work-study grant for college. I got a work-study grant in college, and I had to use it, right, because I wanted to get paid. So my school offered a list of people that were looking for people, and one of those jobs was an after-school tutor. So I thought to myself, hey, I'm a pretty smart kid. Let me tutor some kids. Let me help some kids out. And I went, I did it. I loved it. It was a chance to not only help them with homework, but develop those relationships and connections with them, and a chance to interact with youth, right? So I enjoyed doing that. I decided to continue doing that. So I stayed at the after school tutoring program. Then I worked for those 2 companies that you mentioned in the bio. And then I went into private tutoring. And then after that, I just decided I'm going to take that leap of faith and make it official, put a name on it, and start my own business.
That's really interesting. Was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Yeah, so before I made it official, I attended a small business workshop at my church. I actually went there for a completely different reason, but I decided to stay and listen to the speaker, and she was talking about the benefits of starting a small business, and the benefits of owning your own company. And these are things that were it was on my mind for a while, but hearing someone else say it, it's sort of like, oh, you validated my thoughts. So, and it's the thoughts of being my own boss and not taking orders from other people, and being the one to give the order. and having some authority issues myself. I thought about, I would love to start my own company, and it's a chance to be creative. So I talked to the speaker after privately about how to get started. She gave me some advice, and and I just took that leap and went into it. I figured out all the money issues involving with starting a business. But yeah, I was inspired, and I just decided to take that leap of faith.
That is rather interesting. What are some of the challenges that you had faced when it comes to starting up a business, running a business, and simply maintaining?
So starting a business, your it's I gotta think about that. So in terms of the challenges in starting a business, I would say I spent more money than what I would have liked to spend. Um, so it was I mean I don't want to say how much, but it was more than what I wanted to spend. I didn't really have anyone advising me business wise, which is uh probably something I don't want other people doing. If you can get a business coach, I didn't really have a business coach, but I kind of just dove into the water and figured it out. But so spending more money than what I should have spent, thinking I needed like a private rental office, um and trying to figure out like how to not use my home address. So it's so I think the creative part was the easy part in terms of like brochures and flyers and just the social media. But I think it's like, oh, it's one of those, oh, okay, I don't want people knowing where I live, right? So how do I not put my address out there? And I'm thinking, oh, I need to rent an address, or well, I rented an office, I would say.
Hmm.
um it turns out I didn't really need to do that. I got myself into financial debt starting this company, so I will say that. So credit cards, loans, overdrafting accounts. So I got myself into a lot of financial debt. um so what else? Marketing, of course, finding clients, that's always a challenge. There's people that I had already, I just brought into the company, but then it's like finding new people, right? So marketing is a constant hustle, and having to find people. um and just kind of, and I jumped in as a corporation. um so of course, having to navigate what's running an actual corporation, and the tax implications that's involved, and um well, what's an expense, what's not an expense, and how does it work for me personally. So it's the early years, I would say, was challenging. So in terms of
Hmm.
figuring all that out, particularly on my own. Um, Hiring tutors, that has its challenges as well. I think I jumped in hiring tutors. Um, if anything, I would have kind of built myself up before I went and hired somebody else. So I just kind of jumped in the hiring pool. Um, so I mean, the interviews were fun. So like conducting interviews and having them do testing, and then finding the clients for them as well, and figuring out what percentage do the tutors get. So
Hmm.
so there was the fun parts, but then it's always, and then there's the back end, it's the bookkeeping, and then it's kind of doing it all. And I think that's a major challenge is, I'm one of wearing many hats, so to
Hmm.
speak. And even now, it's 10 years in the game, I still struggle with that, but I'm slowly kind of like, okay, I'm gonna outsource and get other people to do it. So
Hmm.
I'm still working on that, but
And of course, I'm not sure there's students knocking at your door right now, trying to get some tutoring, and you've had some favorite subjects. and the subject you love to teach, and your passion for teaching, tutoring, and everything. We'll get to that in just 1 minute with Gabrielle Crichlow of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. But first, you listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Widener Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has got great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forge Riley, and Eminem. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com and 40 podcast platforms. Heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, Apple Music, Odyssey, BitChute, Rumble. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, and more. Also on Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, TuneIn. Make sure you tune in as well. Make sure you take the Mike Widener Show on any mobile device. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7 year-round. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Widener Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. And support the Mike Widener Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWidenerShow.com. We're here with the owner and director of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services of New York City, Gabrielle Crichlow, here on the Mike Widener Show. And Gabrielle, you got your business started, and you've had a passion for helping students, and you also apply for tutor. And and of course, you just, there's a lot of subject that need some help on, especially reading and arithmetic. Tell us more about that.
Yeah. So, sorry, in terms of my favorite subjects to tutor, or just what I
that too. Yeah, it's like you had some subjects you were passionate about, and also you passed it on to the needs of others too.
Yeah. So, just my company offers pretty much all subjects. The ones that I tend to focus on, and this is me personally talking, is math from 3rd to 9th grade levels. So that's my personal preference is math. I know that shocks a lot of people, but math is my favorite subject. Reading and writing, I find a little more challenging to tutor just because it's a lot more analyzing, and especially a lot more putting things in a structure, taking your thoughts and putting it in a structure, as opposed to math is more like numbers. So my preference tends to be math, but in terms of what my company offers, we do offer multiple subjects, particularly the core subjects. So the ones that we tend to see the most are the core subjects, the basic math, reading, writing. We also do history and science as well. So my personal preference, I tend not to take on the history and science students unless it's paired with one of the core subjects. So I tend to like the elementary school science, because I was like, oh, I know how rain works. I know how rainbows work.
Or the sunshine, the clouds, and everything else. Or you go to MC squared, how you make water. That, yeah. Or watching the grass grow too. So
yeah. So why are plants green? Like I know that stuff. So like I could stay in the elementary school age. History, I would say U.S. history. My preference would be U.S. history, not global history. But yeah, and history and science is research based. So whatever I don't know, I Google it. I go on YouTube, right? And that's, I would say, in the past maybe like 10 years, I would say like everything, like pretty much the internet is your teacher, right? Whatever you need to know, it's there. It's on YouTube. So there really is no excuse not for you to not know anything, because it's just go on your phone, just go on a computer.
Yeah.
So
Well, just like
I think
well,
like
just
your
like I'm
phone.
doing as we speak right here too. So
How to do this. Yeah, so it's really a lot of it is research based, history and science. So my company offers that. I have other tutors that can do that. So whatever I can't do, I have someone else that can do it. So, but my personal preference for tutoring tends to be is math, reading, writing, some history, some science.
And you also work for two companies as well too, tutoring students at no cost. And these are mainly families of mom and dad working, and of course they seem to either get enough or don't get enough or need extra help in the schools as well too. And you saw some academic struggles in working class, disproportionate. And of course, as mentioned too, is most notably African American communities, Hispanic, and the South Asian communities. And only 26 hours is not enough. Now, is 26 hours the state requirement, or is that a school requirement?
So just to make a small clarification, I actually don't work for those companies anymore. But so when I did work for them, yes, in New York City, well, there were multiple companies that were sponsored by the Department of Education. Um, and each company provided a set number of hours to those students. So the two companies that I worked for were 26 hours for the entire year. So
Entire year. Wow.
entire academic year, yeah. So
Wow. Unbelievable.
sometimes, so even though they had a whole year to use it, depending on how often the parents wanted it, it could be used up in like 3 months.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was a service that was offered for free to to low income students. So, and of course when I worked with them, there were things that I noticed, but yeah, it was a set number of hours that was given by the Department of Education. So which I thought, okay, they need a lot more than this, right? So they need
Hmm.
more than 26 hours. And yes, I understand it is a free service to those parents. And of course, anything free is limited. They need a lot more than that. So that's what inspired me to start my own company, is to, well, yes, it is fair warning, it is private pay. You do have to pay out of pocket for my services, but you decide how many hours you want and how long the sessions you want. And I have students that have been with me for 4, 5, 6 years. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's so one of the things that I base my company on is that longevity and
Mm.
having that actual long-term relationship. And yeah, there's the clients that are like, I just want you for this test and then that's it. And they're gone
That's
after
it,
3
huh? Very nice.
months. But then there's the ones that are like, no, I want you with my child. And you know, they may take a summer off, but then they come back like, okay, let's go. So, and and it's a blessing when I have students that grew up with my services and grew up with me and grew up with my tutors. And when they've been with me for 4 and 5 years, it's like, okay, this it's it's not just the academic part, it's the relationship part. And so when I'm able to uh stick it out with the student for so long, and like, you've been, and it's sort of like you're part of the family, you're an extension of the family. So that's one of the things that uh I base my company on, is having that long-term relationship.
Mm. And what else sets you apart from the competition from the other tutoring services?
I would say you have a direct connection with me. So even though, I might assign you to one of my tutors, but you still have that direct connection with me. So I'm not a recording. You don't have to, you can reach me at any time. I'm not I'm not a 9 to 5 person. So if you want to reach me at 7, 8, or 9 o'clock at night, you can. I'm more modernized. So in that you can text me. I would actually prefer text as opposed to phone call. So texting, Facebook Messenger. So I'm more modernized in terms of communication. And like I said, that direct connection with me. So I'm not passing you off to somebody else. It's not like every time you call, you get a different person, right? No. So if you call me, you get me specifically. When you text me, you get me specifically.
That is very interesting. I seem to like that connection. And besides the level of service, like saying, just help someone with a task or having like a tutor, helping like with a portion of reading and everything, and some of the services you offer. What are some of the packages that you offer as well? Like say, like basic packages, or do you have like packages just to tailor students' needs?
So there's like flies. So I'm actually
maybe the flies need some tutoring. Shoo, do you understand that?
So right now, we're actually getting away from packages. So I'm actually restructuring that. But we do offer a lot of coupons. So so in terms of our rates, it does depend on the service. So it is a sliding scale. So whatever you can afford, that's something that I will work with you directly. So I will come up with a payment plan that works for you, the client, as well. So right now there are no packages, but there are coupons. So if you sign up for our email list and our texting list, you get exclusive access to coupons. So that's something I would highly encourage, as well as subscribing to our social media channels. I do share certain coupons there as well. So that's another thing I would encourage. So, sign up for the email list, the text list, follow us on social media. You'll get exclusive access to coupons. But in terms of the actual rates, I do come up with the tailored plan for the client. So it's not everyone gets the same rates. So that's another thing that my company offers is you get a tailored payment plan and payment structure.
That is rather interesting. I seem to like that as well too. And now, is this just in New York City, or is this a nationwide or a worldwide?
So we offer in-person services, which is New York City and Long Island, but we do virtual services, which is nationwide.
Good. Okay. All right. And then how do people get a hold of you? How do you get started and everything else?
Yeah, so if you want to get started, I encourage you to go to our website, www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You go to the website, there is a link to request a tutor. So go to that link and you fill out the form. It is a lengthy form, but the more information you give us, the better. So go to our website, request a tutor, fill out that form. If you're looking for something in person, there's an in-person form and there's a virtual form as well. So definitely start there to request a tutor. You could also contact me directly. So you can email me, success@astepaheadtutoringservices.com. Reach out to me on social media. So we're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, where else? YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter, or which is now called X. So you could reach out to me there as well and send me a direct message, but eventually I will redirect you to the requested tutor form where you can fill out whether you want something in person or virtual.
All right, we'll certainly do that as well too. What's coming up for Gabrielle Crichlow and A Step Ahead Tutoring Services? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Mulson's Missing. We'll be back with the owner and director of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, Gabrielle Crichlow, after this time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-37 3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the owner and director of A Step Ahead Tutoring Services, Gabrielle Crichlow of New York City, here on the Mike Wagner Show. You gave us a lot of information, and a lot of students, I'm sure, are needing this right now. Parents, a big relief at this time. And what else can we expect in 2024 and beyond, Gabrielle?
So I would say a lot more virtual workshops. So homeschooling one-on-one, it's something. So if you're interested in homeschooling, how to get started, what is it? That's something that I've been doing for a few years. So that's coming up. Virtual trade fair, that's coming up in the works. So, you know, maybe college is not for you. You know, there are trades that you can go into. So kind of exploring that as well. So we are trying to get a lot more, my team and I, as well as some of my partners, are trying to get some workshops off the ground. So you can stay tuned for that. But of course, in order for you to know all that, you got to sign up for the email list, text list, get on, follow us on social media.
We'll certainly do that as well to let everybody know about it. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I gotta think about that one. My biggest influence.
It can be anybody in general.
I would say this. I think since the pandemic began, I would say I find myself modeling myself after other entrepreneurs because so in a way, like, kind of a weird thing to say, but the pandemic has been a blessing in terms of my business because I got to connect with other entrepreneurs. So and especially, I think I was talking to you before about, you know, trying to do everything myself. And I think since the pandemic began, I find myself getting in more Facebook groups and discovering a tutor Facebook group where it's just tutors talking to each other. And I think, and coming across other tutors that are doing financially well and they're bringing in like $10,000 a month. And I'm like, I want to do that. So what do I got to do to get to you? So I think in terms of my role models, I will say other entrepreneurs, especially that are doing much better than me financially, because then I can pick their brains and say, well, what are you doing to get there? And so that's helping me build myself up as an entrepreneur, and that I want to get to where you are. What do I got to do? So, I will say, particularly in the past maybe 4 years, I will say my role models have been other entrepreneurs.
That is interesting. A group effort. I like that. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
To anybody
Yes,
at all?
Anybody in general.
I gotta think about that. I would say you don't need a lot of money to get started. I think that was the biggest mistake I made in the beginning, was I just kind of threw all this money getting myself into debt. So I would say you don't need a lot of money to get started. So you don't have to jump into the deep water right away. Like start in the kiddie pool and then work your way up to the adult pool. So it's especially with other tutors, I say like start with your friends, family. Start a social media account. I mean, you don't necessarily have to do the logo right away, but eventually you want to get there. But I would say it's definitely a long game, entrepreneurship, and you're learning all the time. So in terms of my advice, you don't need a lot of money to get started. That was a big mistake that I made. But you do have to invest a lot of time. So running a business is a financial investment. It is a time investment. And it's a constant learning process. And it is a long game. Don't expect to be successful overnight. Especially, when I talk to kids and they see the YouTube influencers, and I tell them, it takes a while for them to get there, so, and they have all these ads, and so they see all the glitz and glamour, and I'm like, it takes a while for you to get up there. Right. So you can't just be that. Mm-hmm. So in terms of my advice, don't expect to get there right away. It takes time to get there. So you have to be willing to commit. You have to be willing to invest money. You have to be willing to invest time. And especially starting off, you don't need a lot of money to start, but eventually as you grow, you find yourself digging into your wallet more. So be willing to do that. But I know I said a bunch of things at once, but basically you don't need a lot of money to get started, but you do need time to get started. And eventually as you grow, you will have to make more of an investment financially. You do have to make more of an investment in terms of time. And growing a business is a constant process, is a constant learning process. And you got to be in it for the long haul.
And it made me think you guys need business and entrepreneur tutors. That just came to mind right there.
Yes. Don't do what I did and figure it out all on your own. No, if you can afford it, I will say this: if you can afford it, get a business coach.
There you go. I think that's a great idea. Once again, with owner of Step Ahead Tutoring Services, Gabrielle Crichlow, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Gabrielle, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. Once again, what's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people check out your works, check out your services, and more?
Yes, my website, www.astepaheadtutoringservices.com. You can also find me on multiple social media platforms. So Facebook, Twitter, or X, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube. So find me on there. Just type in A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. I'll pop up. I also have a podcast called Hot Topics. Same thing. So wherever you get your favorite podcast, so Spotify, Apple, Spreaker, Good Pod, just again, type in A Step Ahead Tutoring Services. Hot Topics will pop up. You'll see a pencil logo. That is us. So please subscribe to our podcast, Hot Topics, as well.
We'll certainly do that as well. Once again, Gabrielle, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. We wish you all the best. And Gabrielle, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionsea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show. Brought to you by international award-winning author Mia Mohsen Zia of Missing. And powered by Sonic Web Studios. Be sure to join us again on over 40 podcast platforms. And of course on the MikeWagnerShow.com, HamiltonRadio.net, and Diamonds FM. Don't forget to support our program with a generous donation at the MikeWagnerShow.com. Thanks for listening.